Alright, shows we're live and we are on data. We're not on Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi wouldn't load. Let me see if it'll connect to Wi-Fi. Yeah, Wi-Fi will not work.
Is it on the right?
No, I'm talking about on the phone.
Yeah, Wi-Fi will not work.
Well, hello, Daniel. Happy Thursday.
Yes, happy Thursday to you too.
It's on the right. Friend 38 is here.
Yeah, I think that is Tasheen.
Yep.
Tasheen says hello, Tasheen. We are trying to figure this out. It's not doing good. It's
Well, it's either I'm going to put it on data and it's going to be fuzzy, or we're going to put it on Wi-Fi and it's going to lose it.
Well, I don't want it to be on fuzzy because can't nobody. Okay. Having technical difficulties. It must be the weather. Justin said, morning ladies. Hello, Justin. We are having some problems, so give me just a minute, please. I hope you're doing well, Justin.
Well, I got it on Wi-Fi now, so.
All right, let's see what we got. See it did.
Okay. Yep. No Wi-Fi tonight. Not working. The computer's not going to work.
John said hi. John Deere said hi.
I have something else I'm going to try here. Alright, let's see how this does.
Carlo said, Pops. Hello, Carlo.
Well,
Huh?
that worked, and it's showing on Wi-Fi.
We're having a little bit of problem here. Give us a minute. We'll try. I think Randy's got it now. Let's see. John said, keep dropping off. Just saying. Maybe we got it. I don't know. We'll try. Hugh said, hello, Randy. Daryl said, evening all. Hello, Daryl. Hugh said, hello, Daryl. Hello, Scoots.
Hello.
Carlos said, sup, Roar 3. Hugh said, hello, John Deere. Metal said, Hugh, Big, Jacob. Hugh says, hello, Daniel. John said, 5 by 5. Carlos said, what's up, Hugh? Hugh said, hello, John. Big John. 11 people in here, 11 thumbs up. Thank y'all. I like the jump right off the bat there. Appreciate it. Topper says, go Pats.
Let me try.
John Deere says, hi, Grand Video Vic. OG said, what's up, guys? Wash Rapper Black once again. Back. I said black. Sorry. Carlos, what's up, Daryl? Hugh said, Big Bad John. Hello, OG, said Hugh. Pearl says, Pearl Tree Production says, hi, hello.
Hello.
Hugh says, hello, Topper. Bryant says, hi, hello. 14 people, 12 thumbs up. Thank y'all. Lucy, hello. How's the play going? Topper said they, which I'm sure you said something different. Mine probably translated it. John Deere said, what, Grand Video Vic? Hugh said, hello, Pearl Tree. Bryant said, hi. And Hugh says, hello, Lucy. 15 people, 14 thumbs up. All right.
14 thumbs up in 7 minutes.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. We do good for the first hour and then it dies off. But hey, I appreciate each and every one of y'all. Yep, yep. Lucy says, I got a line in my other play, and I'm just for that. And I don't know what that word is. It's symbols. That's ENSEMBLE. I know what she's trying to say, kind of excited.
Ensemble. No.
I know she's excited for that one. Daryl said, ready for the weekend, Randy. I actually got some good news. Yes, I am ready for the weekend. I got a lot to do. I got a little bit of a start on it today, but I do not have to leave Sunday. I'll be leaving Monday morning, so I got my whole weekend back. So that's awesome. Hugh said, man, so happy that white stuff has melted away. I don't know about you, Hugh, but we've seen white stuff all day today. Been snowing.
It snowed today.
It's
again.
been snowing today, yes. Captain Bad Bill said, good evening, all you all. Hello, Captain.
Oh, Captain, my Captain.
Jay Brown says she begged to lick the pickle Billy. Okay. Ben says you look like I'm a nice whatever other word you was gonna say. I'm that. Thank you, Ben. Hugh said hello, Captain. Daryl said trade your places. No. Oh, you said Hugh. Never mind. Y'all trade.
Y'all trade. I'm not trading. I'm staying down here. I'm not going to Ohio.
If I go anywhere, it's going to be farther south. Matthew Stump says, hey, or said hi, hello. Hugh said, hello, Ben. And hello, Matthew. Lucy said, it's like background people. Yes, you said it right, Patrick. Jack Jones said, leave now, and Smiley. Daryl said, did you look at the at that excavator? No, I was going to go last week, but I'm going to try to go either
16
Friday.
inches of snow stops a lot of
Yeah,
stuff.
I'm going to either go Friday or I'm going to go Saturday morning. It depends on if Justin and I get the tires off the trailer tomorrow morning, then we'll go look at it tomorrow when Randy gets off work. But if not, we'll have to do it Saturday morning. Hugh said it was slush this morning, but only for a bit. Thank God. Matthew said, Matthew, hell yeah. Falling says you're on the Epstein list. Okay. Captain Bill says
No, our biggest fan said that we're not.
Howdy, Vic. Lucy said, I'm so excited. My birthday is in 28 days, and I'm going skiing with my friends. Awesome.
Cool.
It's me, not you. Why? Said, who suck who? Jack Jones said, do you ride a bike? We do own two. Yes, I haven't rode in a pretty good while, but yes. Matthew said, Matthew, hell yeah. Diva Fever said, does that t-shirt come in a tasteful color? It depends on who you are. I think it's a tasteful color right now. It's high-vis safety yellow. Safety first, but Lucy said, I'll be 15. Awesome. Topper says, where y'all live? The shop's in Denton, North Carolina. Jane said, hey, family, honey, I'm home. Alex said, hello. Hello, Jane. Jack says, are you Indian or Harley guy? I've got two Harleys. But I had a VTX 1800 Honda. I liked it. I just like the sound of a Harley. I do want a bagger, but we'll see. Topper says, cool. Lucy says, hi, Jane. Alex says, is milk just cow juice?
As long as it's not bull juice.
Karoba says, hey, it's my grandma's birthday. Say happy birthday to. Happy birthday, Grandma. Daryl said, Jane. Iceberg Matt said, what's in this shirt pocket? My pen. Let's see. 1818, thank y'all. Hugh said hello, Jane. Jane said hi, Daryl. Twisted said good evening, everyone. Hello, Twisted. Baseball says, hell yeah, I'm from Athens, Georgia. We just got 6 inches of snow. I know y'all out in North Carolina got dumped on. Yeah, I think we ended up with 16 inches.
16 to 16.8 inches.
Jane
Which
said,
don't make sense to me. How do you get tenths of an inch? And an inch is 12. Well, there's 12 inches in a foot. How do you get 1/10 of a foot?
well, what, huh?
Okay, so money. Okay, 1 penny is 1/100th of a dollar, right? So if you're gonna write it out, it's gonna be 0.01.
1/10 would be 10, won't it?
Yeah, but
So you
1/10
get-
is 0.10 of a dollar, or one, right?
Yeah, well, you're
But if
going to have
get
to hurry up. I'm getting
0.1
behind.
If you get 0.1 inches of snow, that's not like 1/10 of an inch. Because it's a tenth. And a foot is 12 inches. So how do they get 16.8 inches?
Jane said, hi, Hugh.
Asshole.
Poke said, what's your favorite ice cream? Chocolate.
Strawberry.
John Deere said, everything doing good today, guys? Yes. Luke said, I like this channel. Thank you, Luke. Daryl says, Dennis. Jane said, hi, Lucy. Jack Jones says, Honda is going farther and won't leak on your oil on your asphalt. Yep. I did like the drive shaft part, too. Twisted said, ice cream. Lucy said, happy birthday to your grandma. Luke said, I like this channel. Iceberg said, what's the dude watching in the back?
Don't worry about it.
Mike said, hello, Randy's. Lucy said,
Hello.
how are you, Jane? Hugh said, hello, Mike. Hello, Mike. Iceberg says 16.8 inches. Sounds familiar to the red shirt guy. Hugh said, hello, Twisted. Baseball said, damn, that's a lot of snow. Yeah, we ain't seen that in a long time.
I ain't seen it in 30 years.
Mike said, hi, Hugh. Jane said, Lucy, Daryl gave me his headache. Ha ha. Lucy said, nah, gosh, dang, Daryl. Hugh said, buy a Harley, buy the best, ride a mile, and walk the rest. Lucy's laughing. I don't see a word I can make out of that. Trichondros. Monk said, what is 134 divided by 2? Gamer Video said,
You about got me. It's 42.
Gamer Video said, so I heard you half-assed the job yesterday. Somebody told me you lied.
No. I half-ass every job.
Come on now.
Willis.
No, we ain't putting that out there. Somebody be them rubbing their face.
Yeah, well.
Jane said, we got 13 2 weeks ago. We still have most of it on the ground. Mike said, hi, Dennis, Jane, Daryl. Joseph said, never done project. Sounds like my driveway. Yeah. Jane said, hi, Mike. Daryl said, Mike. John said, 1/10 of a foot is 1.2 inches. Hugh says, hello, Joseph.
Cool.
Daryl said, you'll fit in the fine, Joseph. Lucy said, 134 divided by 2 is 42. Amazon's retracted their message. The links are the mixer, said links or navy beans. John said, I had a Buell Lightning, love it. I never rode one of them. Look at there, 20 people, 20 likes. Thank y'all. I never rode one of those Buells. I don't know how you say it right. I want to, though. Mike McGee said, go Seahawks. Daryl said, I had owned many Harleys, but never left me stranded. Hondas, on the other hand, have. I never got stranded, but then again, I didn't keep mine that long either. Hugh said, I had a Katana 600 and a GS XR 750. I miss them. Wife loved me too much to let me ride. Stupid. Maria said, good evening, everyone. Orange Man. Hello, Maria. Kenny says, MMPH. Oh. Lucy said, by the way, I'm sorry I barely come on here anymore. I know I've said it before, but I'm pretty busy with homework, theater, and school, and on my other theater. And pretty soon I'll be starting tech that week then. Hey, we understand, Lucy. Y'all, your school and life comes first. If you got time to come on, we welcome you. If you don't, we 100% understand. Kenny said same thing over and over. Hugh said, hello, Maria. Berger said, Jesus saved. He died on the cross to pay you our sins. He was buried. He was rose again. That on the third day, we all sin. Hell is real. Put your faith in him. Alone you'll to save you. Hugh said, hello, Kenny. Lucy said, hell week is also, I'll be on her even less. Mike said, hi, Maria. Maria says, hello, Mike. Hugh. Lucy said, sorry, I ran out of space on the first paragraph. Jane said, hi, Maria. BLK said, hi, puppies. Lucy said, just don't forget me. We won't. Maria said, yes. And Rick said, hello.
Oh, sorry. It's Lucy, and Dorothy, and Sandy.
Daryl said, Kane gotta get fired. Never shows up anymore. Vic says, really, brother? He's right there.
He's right here.
Maria says, how are you? I'm doing great. Hope you are. Kenny said the same thing. Kawasaki 900. Flo Key says, hey, guys, how are you doing today? Great. We hope much love. Hugh said, Kane is lazy. Yeah, I like it. Kenny says, 1976. Delixer said, never done project comes first. Life comes second.
No, you got to reverse that.
Appreciate it. Hugh said, hello, Rich. Maria says, Kane is like me.
Lazy.
Hugh says, hello, Flo Keys. Rich said, how is everyone doing? Doing great. Hope you are. Flo Keys says, making meatloaf, mashed potatoes, and peas tonight. What's on your guys'
What's your guys' favorite vegetable?
Green
sounds
beans.
like I'm gonna be eating what you're cooking. Where you at?
Jane said, hi, Rich. Daryl said, you sober a lot.
Slobber.
You slobber a lot. What do you call it?
Maria.
Or is that Maria?
That's Maria.
Oh. Delixer said, why y'all do... Would y'all do marijuana if it was legal in North Carolina? No. Jane said, hi, Flo Keys. Flo Keys said, lol, that was funny when he pulled his shirt up on me.
Maria said, what? That's what Kane does. Kane slobbers everywhere.
BLK said, what y'all think about the ice thing? I like barreled ice.
I like
crushed ice. I like both of them. I don't like the bigger one. It's kind of hard to chew. I think that's why I broke some of my teeth. Kenny said, ever seen South Park before? Yep. Flo Key says, hi, Jane. How are you doing this fine day? Hugh says, it's cold. Daryl said, no politics. Flo Key says, hey, Hugh, how are you doing today? Great, I hope. Jane said, Flo King's doing well. Hope you're doing good. One Life says, hello, guys. 24 people in here, 21 thumbs up. Flo King says, we are in Wisconsin. Come on up.
Hold on.
Lucy said, what's your favorite numbers?
12.
69. That was the year I was born. Flo Key says, oh, you guys are funny. Lucy said, blah, 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 blah. You're so funny, Patrick and SpongeBob. Maria said, little Randy, you look different.
I trimmed my beard so I look skinnier, but I promise I'm not.
Daryl said, Maria, you said you're like Kane's slobbers.
I bet Kane
Jane said, crushed ice for me. Yeah. One Life says, how can my name be on your wall? Just become a member, $4.99 a month, and we will put it on the wall in here and at the road. Maria said, maybe because I haven't seen you in a while and I kind of forgot how you look.
Well, I don't look like that chicken that about buried itself today.
Matthew said, hi. Kenny said, I'm Australian, by the way, if there is any Australians in here.
Big Boy Toys is in Perth, Australia.
Yeah. Carlo is an Australian. I think he'll be in here in a minute if he ain't already.
He's probably pooping.
Let's see. Jane said, hi, One Life. Maria said, yes, I slobber a lot. Daryl said, become a member for $4.99 and you get your name on the wall and at the road.
Yes.
Flo Key says, we will be live at 9 p.m. Come watch us make that gingerbread house with the kiddies. All right. Maria's laughing and smiling and slobbering. Jane said, hi, Kitty. Hugh said, Buggy Boy is Ozzy. Kenny says, and I'm eating crumb sausage and mashed spuds.
For breakfast?
Flo Key says, we are near Green Bay if that helps you get.
Get here for dinner. Well, look, just save me a plate and I'll be there in 6 to 7 business months.
Hugh says, big boys. Jane said, I was thinking the same thing. Maria, R3 looks thinner. I know where this is going.
I'm not.
He's standing behind me and they're going to all say I look fatter. That's why he looks skinnier. Matthew said, Matthew, hell yeah. Boston said, you guys, what's good? Be blessed. You guys, what's good? Be blessed. You too, Boston. Thank you.
Thank you.
Delixer says, if y'all had to be in the Winter Olympics, which sport would y'all compete in? I like the bobsled.
Summer Olympics.
Yeah.
That's
Maria
what I
said,
think.
or give him a hard time and he'll put your name on the toilet wall. Mayhem, Mary says, I braided my pups into the ponytail.
Cool.
Lucy says, has anyone wants... Oh my God, our work shit's already doing something stupid. It's hard to keep up because this dumbass. Lucy said, hey, anyone who wants to, I don't mean to force anything, but I could y'all possibly just keep in mind my dog is sick right now, so if you could pray for him or just keep him in his thoughts, that's great. Yes, prayers for Lucy's dog. Kenny said, leftover from dinner / tea. Jane said, what's crumble sausage? Flo Kid said, plate saved, sir. Maria said, he lost a lot of meat. I think there's not a lot of human meat to eat in winter. Everyone in their homes.
Well, just remember, Maria, this weekend I didn't get to come because there was so much snow out here, so I didn't get my people food for Sunday breakfast.
Daryl said, I've backed off all my membership. Only 2 I'm a member of now is the NDP and JP. JG, I'm sorry. Let's see. Jane said, Maria, our names would probably go on the toilet wall. Somebody's is up right here, the inventor of dirt.
Yep.
Maria says, don't talk about our chickens. Chicken.
Lucy also said, Patrick, did you say 42? And Carlos said, Ozzy, oi, oi, oi.
Paige says, hello, Stone Cold, Steve Austin and son. How are you? Doing great. Hope you are.
I'm going home.
You said, same here, Daryl. I had 12 memberships, too many to keep up with. Kenny said, crumb sausages, boiled snack, peeled skin, floured egg, and bread, crumbed, and deep fried.
That actually sounds decent.
Huh. Peter said, big boys, brother. Whoa. Damn it, I did it again.
Daryl said, I love to support, but gets expensive. Yes, it does. Jane said, hello, Carlo. Oi, oi, oi. Delixer the Mixer said, my favorite food is head cheese. What's the difference between that and normal cheese? Hugh said, yes, it adds up quick. Yes, it does. Maria said, today I woke up and found the chicken in my bed staring at me. Weird. Don't be mean to Cookie. I like Cookie. And the scary man said, is your son coming to my house? No.
Carlos says, pay you. Maria said, I don't even know how he got into the house. The lecturer says,
let him in.
Your daddy let him in, put him in there. The lecturer said, in Canada, NDP are the woke leftist party. Oh, no.
Here's the thing. We're working on making our website, right? And I want it to be ndp.com. Well, NDP stands for New Democratic Party. And the ndp.com domain is taken by the New Democratic Party. So we can't do ndp.com.
We tried NDPHQ.
I got ndphq.com. It's not live yet, but I'm still working on setting it up. But yeah, I learned that. I said, "Rot-row raggy."
Carlos said, Jane. Jane said, thanks, Kenny. Mike said, Carlo. Peter,
You said,
Jane, hi. 8 Lug said, hey, Randy and Randy.
Hey,
Hello, Gabriel. Carlo
Buddy,
said,
I'm
what's
sorry
up, Mike?
I didn't see your messages sooner, Gabriel. That truck looks damn good. I cannot wait to see it all in that hooger orange and that white top. Buddy, that's going to look good.
You said had cheese is made from all the meat from the head. Carrie says, Jane, Mom. Daryl says, 8 Lug. Hugh says, hello, 8 Lug. Maria says, I don't like him.
Well,
Kenny
see,
says, it's Australian. They
Yeah,
like fairy bread.
Cool.
Jane said, hey, pay you. Mike said, 8 Lug. Steve said, had any idea what I should break with my new Easy Bake Oven? So far, I've done a 3-layer wedding cake and a 1-inch tall, and I made some buffalo chicken. I need more ideas, please. Carrie says, Long Wrench, Dad.
Well, Steve,
You says, hi,
make whatever
cheese.
you want.
Head cheese is a big here in America years ago. Waste nothing. Olivia said, hi. Maria says, never done project website. Why nobody told me before?
Because it's not live yet.
Sam said, you. Maria said, Olivia. Gabriel says, hey, Long Wrench. Huh?
Hey, Mike.
Daryl said, ghostly. Sam said, shut up. Okay. Z Carey says, I had ugly men on this app. I hate ugly men on this app. You shouldn't hate yourself. That's really not nice. You should think positive thoughts about yourself. Olivia said, Maria, Mike. Olivia says, get Hugh. Jane said, hi, Olivia. Mike said, Z Carey, man, wave. A Lug said, Hugh. Daryl said, I want a mid-49s car to chop the top and 4-door to a 2-door. Don't matter. Cool. I would love to have one myself. Olivia said, hey, Jane. Zachary says, hello, how are you? I'm doing great. Hope you are. Jane says, Carlo, now. Maria says, I don't like that kind of chicken that takes the dollar roll and try to steal dads from their family. They just want you to step up your game. If you do better, the chicken don't hold a candle. They'll just cross
remember,
the road.
Chicken in the car, and the car won't go. Chicken out of the car, Chicago.
Kenny says, fairy bread is white bread, salted butter, and hundreds and thousands of
Sprinkles.
ball sprinkles. Okay, Kenny's laughing.
Not gonna lie, that kind of doesn't sound good.
Livia said, sorry, I'm late. I ran out to Athens to grab Godzilla Restoration and whatnot. Okay, you're fine, Olivia. Thanks for coming. Kenny says, better than cake. Jane said, Carlo, we have young ladies in here. Oh, he got time to.
He got it deleted.
Oh. Jane said, no. Olivia says, now I can drive it. Daryl says, congratulations, go sleep.
Wait, I thought you weren't legally allowed to drive.
Ghosty says, I don't want to yet, though. I want to sand it down, clean it up, and paint it. Flo Keys says, laugh out loud, Chicago. Flo Keys said, that's funny.
You believe it or not, the old man told me that one.
Carlo says, Jane, sorry. Maria said, nah, I'm too lazy to try. I have more important things to focus on better than fighting with the chicken. Nobody said fight with the chicken.
Hey,
They said
look,
pick your roll up and do better by your daddy.
listen, if you fight that chicken and you turn your back to that chicken, he gonna flock the hell out of you.
You need to do better by your daddy. That way the chicken don't hold a candle, and then he'll cross the road,
Or
get
you
run
grab
over
him
by
by
a
the neck
bus.
and flip him around, and then you cook him real good.
Floki says, you guys got me laughing pretty dang good today. I have to admit. Cheers. Much love. Love the snow.
Show.
Maria said Maria said he actually really smiling around. Have you ever reached there and picked him up, Maria, by the feet and held him upside down? And he like goes to sleep. He'll just
dangle his wings out and just kind of hang out.
Yeah, he'll just
gotta
lay
flip
there.
him over just right.
You pick him up, flip him upside down, and he'll just. It's kind of funny. Let's see.
Allie Brat says hello everyone.
Hello, Allie Brat.
And we have her for the weekend to help Grandma out. She got food poisoning.
Uh-oh. Hope she feels
I
better.
hope she gets to feeling better. She's just not catching a break here lately. Let's see here. Olivia said, we've talked about this, Randy. Yes, I'm allowed to drive, and most of my anxiety had gone away, so I can drive on my own now legally. Well, just advice. If you can't beat them, wreck them.
You pause. Too much.
Kiss.
Kenny said fairy bread is
Bye.
always the first snack to go to at birthday parties. It's that good. Even adults eat it when it's for kids. Daryl said Boggy was telling me that the other night. Go sleep. Go said thank you, Mac. I'll send you before and after pics. It'll be all ready in 30 minutes. Maria says, the only way to make my dad proud is to be a doctor or turn into a chicken.
You want to know the truth about that? He might seem tough, but I would just about guarantee he's going to be proud of you, period. I will pause all freaking night.
Jane said, Olivia, can you reach the pedals? You said chickens, if you grab them, but the feet, it paralyzes them. It's funny. Yeah, it is. It's funny.
While you're flipping them over, if you don't do it quick enough, they'll flap around real fast. But as soon as you're gonna flip it all the way over and like hold them there, they'll just spread their wings out and just sit there and look at you like.
Maria says, I'm not flipping anybody. Not anybody. The chicken. It's funny.
Mm-hmm.
Peter said fighting with a rooster is nice. Daryl said draw a straight line on the floor and they stare at it forever. I've heard that, and I've heard if you like draw a line in the sand, they'll do the same thing. I've always wanted to try it, but I haven't. Maria says, why would you know many information about chickens? That's weird. We used to have chickens.
We've raised chickens, cows, pigs, goats, horses. We basically had farms.
Yeah. But Daryl said we raised chickens, cows, pigs, and horses growing up. He says, draw a line on the ground and Randy will stare at it for hours.
Draw a line on the ground. That's up the line.
Jane said, Pops, you picky. What? Wait a minute. No, I'm not. About what?
I don't even know.
Everything I've said's true.
Zary man said, Jane, you still gonna marry me?
Kenny says, but
Vegemite and Milo is the best Aussie food.
Carlos said, cruelty to chickens. That ain't cruelty. They just like it's like getting a back rub. They just. Annie says, this guy who shovels at my apartment gets real close to my car. He even touches my tires with the shovel. And he says he doesn't even have a car himself.
Well, as long as he's not scratching your car up. I mean, if your tires are sitting on ice, it's going to be kind of hard to start moving.
Hugh said Vegemite ain't happening here in the States.
Oh. Jay said, pause. You're picking. You started. You're starting it. I hope you choke on a banana. I bet you eat a banana looking at Kendall with your eyes right in his, and y'all make wonderful eye contact while you eat a banana from both ends.
Fuck you.
No! Give me the bottle of water. Give me the bottle of water.
You done?
You done?
We're getting behind.
Fuck you.
Oh, let's see. Let's see. Olivia said, actually, I have redone the steering wheel apartment thing is, though it's a little broken, stuck. I can't drive it comfortably yet. Hugh said, hello, Annie. Maria said, I'm not touching the chicken leg. That's gross. Rayan said, free Palestine. I did this morning. It was snowing, and they said, the hell with this. They went back to the basement. Jane said, hi, Annie. You know how to fix it, that. Shovel it yourself. Kenny said, I saw someone once shovel a big firecracker up a chicken's, you know what, and lit the fuse. Oh, that would be...
That's how you get popcorn chicken.
Yeah. Kenny said, but it was funny and cruel. Hugh said, Maria, people here in America eat chicken legs. Don't know how about they do. I'm not eating a chicken leg. Not chicken feet. I'll eat a chicken leg now. Let's see. Muhammad is shady. Muhammad said, so I just joined the stream. Thank you. Maria said, we don't eat them here. You don't eat the chicken? And he said, I just think he's disrespectful. He knocked my bicycle over last summer on accident, blowing leaves. He didn't even apologize. Well, it was an accident. Jane said, this is Randy abuse. Do it again. Daryl said, be right back. Payu says, Turks said, get her done. You said, chicken legs, frog legs, pig feet, cow's hooves. They waste nothing years ago, especially for the mountains and plains. A lot of that I'm not eating. Jane said, I'm high Satan, boys are being boys. You said, abuse, do it again so I can record it. Elixir said, Israel or Palestine, both. They're both great people. James said, pick cow tongue. No, pickled cow tongue. Hell no.
I'm gonna make you eat some pickled.
Randy says, free Palestine. I told you I did this morning, and they come right back in when they saw the snow. James said, Hugh, what about human legs? I know I need to catch up, but Maria, they just had that the other day at Walmart here. Somebody actually had a human leg in the meat department, and they ended up finding, I think, the man's wife with the leg cut off. I think she was still alive. I'm not for sure, but he had cut her leg off and skinned it and put it out there for somebody to buy. Olivia says, I want to talk about Annie. She's ignoring me. Y'all have to talk about it on y'all's self, not here. Maria said, or only bad people eat them. Hugh said, you eat human legs in Iraq? That's crazy. Jane said, Maria, they do eat chicken legs. Where you at? Question. I mean, where are you? Question. Turp says, I guess the trolls have crawled from under the bridge. Yeah. Hugh said, I'm just playing Maria. Zikari said, Jane, stop. What's Jane stopping about? Annie says, I'm not ignoring. Rain said, Israel is the biggest terrorist government. Hey, we don't listen. We don't do that, Rain. Find another channel, or we don't do that kind of political stuff or stuff like that. Riz says, oh, you mean chicken thighs? Of course we eat them. Olivia says, it's a fun vroom vroom. You would like it, Pops. Cool. Hugh said, Maria, research the only party 1846, 1847. Delixer said, would you eat triple is cow testicles? I wouldn't do it on purpose. Jane said, deliver? Nope. Maria says, we eat chickens every week. multiple times. Jane said, Pop, she's going to believe you. About what? Payu says, trip so good. Olivia said, no, talk, to not about. Proud American said, hey, hello, Proud American. Hugh said, my wife eats triple. She is, I can't say that name right now. She can't cook it while I'm home. It stinks. The elixir says, Jane, why not? It tastes great. Jane says, I'm proud. Hi, proud. Jane said, Lord, deliver, it stinks. Can't get it past your nose. And Maria said, Hugh, we eat everything in Iraq but no dead cats. Olivia said, you eat live cats? That's bad. Olivia said, agreed, we promote cannibalism in America. Well, I don't. Proud American said, hey there, Jane. Proud said there. Hugh said, Lord, Maria live. Proud American said, woohoo, how is everyone? Doing great, hope you are. Hugh said, just kidding, Maria. Delixer said, Jane, it doesn't stink. Maria said, nope. Hugh said, hello, Proud. Ryan said, yeah, I understand. Sorry for being political. You guys are good people. Enjoy with each other. Jane said, Delixer keeps changing to delivery. Sorry. Proud American said, hey there, Gran. Olivia says, I want to talk to Andy. I miss her. So do you, Pops. Yeah, I hate she's not coming in here. Hugh said, triple beef is cow stomach lining and can't do it. No, not me. Luxor said, Jane, NP, no problem. Olivia said, say it. Say what? Jane said she's going to believe there was a lady leg in the... there was. It was on the news. Somebody noticed it, and they actually called the cops, and they come in, and the guy that cuts the meat was going to kill his wife, and he'd cut her leg off and had skinned it and put it out there for sale, and she was still in there alive when the cops come and found them. That actually was on the news the other day. You know, you got to believe the news.
By the time I believe the news is whenever I believe what the government says whenever they say they're here to help.
Maria says, we let her eat a sheep head on breakfast. Not me, some people. And they enjoy it. Oh, golly, just thinking about that. Nope, thank you. No, thank you. Proud American said, it's too hard to design cars on software. The lecturer said, what about lamb eyeballs? Those are great. I'm not eating those either. Proud American said, I was on a laptop like for 17 hours straight. Ooh. Olivia said, it actually easy proud.
Yeah.
Maria says, Jane, you mean he was lying about the human leg in Walmart? I thought that was true. It was on, whether it's true or not, but it was on the news. You know, somebody had put it out there. I don't know if it's true. That's just what they said. But I did see that. Proud American said, Olivia, which software? Jay said, Lord, Maria. Matthew said, hell no. Olivia said, I don't know the website, but you can build a car to your specifications. Why would you use a website? Shit, y'all fast enough. Just... Maria said, how did he take her leg off? She's still alive.
Amputation.
Jane, I'm just telling you. They said they called the law that a man...
Maria.
Was that
You said
Maria?
Jane.
I'm sorry. Maria, I'm just saying... That's
Bitch,
what
I get
the
right on
that's
the
what
index
the thing said. It said that somebody come in and seen it, went out, called the law to come in here, and they actually found the guy. He was dismembering his wife. I'm thinking the woman was alive, but I won't swear by it. Olivia said, amputation, Maria. Hughes said, in New York during the mob days, they own meat plants, how they got rid of bodies so fast, and Chicago and others. James said, oh, Pops, Randy getting ready.
Tired
says,
of being sprayed with a bottle of water like a goddamn cat.
Maria says, have you ever seen a camel? At the fair, yes, but not real, and like at zoo, but not like, yeah, I've seen one. Adam said, hey guys, what's up? Hello, Adam. Olivia said, Pop, you behind. Yeah, Delixer says, I love lamb brain. It's mushy like butter, but feeling like beef. It's basically beef butter. That's nasty. Randy says, I've drove Campbell's. Rode Camel. Maria said, little Randy got some protection. Jack Jones says, are you bald or you just have that style? I shave every single day. Maria says, what are you going to put on the website?
I don't know.
We're trying to get it where that everything we do and buying tires, shirts, stuff like that, everything off of the website. Let's see. Lou said, we're not that fast. Proud American said, damn it. Proud American says, oh, not that, Olivia. I mean, like using CAD softwares like Kathy Semi NX, Atlas Surface Fusion. There we have to do everything from scratch. Hugh says, there was a gigantic walkthrough farm and had a couple camels and bison and bear and suck. It was called Cannibal Ranch here in North Carolina. Mike said, Randy, you've been reading too much Facebook about the leg. It may not be true. I'm just telling you what I saw. Adam said, did you guys see that one of the sheriff deputy up my way failed to pay his loans on all his vehicles and they got repoed? No?
His cop car got repoed.
Oh, Lord. Bria said, maybe you put the lady leg in the Walmart. No. Kinsley said, hello. Hello, Kinsley. You said, how many ate human dog instead of a hot dog? Ooh, I don't know.
See, don't worry about it.
Kinsley said, hi. Hugh says, hello, Adam. Jane said, hi, Adam. Proud Americans. Can I ask your name, sir? Both of you, if you don't mind me asking. Both of our names are the same.
We'll make it easy. Randy and Randy.
I'm a junior. He's a third. Jane said, bless you. Rainer says, this is your wife in the background. Clean your glasses. Hugh said, wow, that's crazy. Adam repo cop cars. Maria says, if I went to the desert, I'd take pics of the camels. They have dozens of camels. See, that would be cool. Deluxer said, do you guys like turkey neck? No.
Nope.
I'm not going to try it. You said, they are Randy. Kinsley said, hello, hello. You said Randy Jr. and Randy the Third. Adam said, yep, Lawrence County got all their sheriff's department cars repoed, all 49 of them. Oh, man, that's crazy. Proud American said, Olivia, you there? Olivia says, they're still working on the TRD Super. It may run like a scary monster, but it still needs a lot of body work and the suspension isn't complete. And a better radiator for gauges. Bless you, Randy.
Thank you.
Adam says, I want to know what they did with the tax money personally. Yes. Patrick said, knocking on heaven's door. Hugh said, that is great, Adam. Loud, never seen that happen before. Libby said, and brakes as well as paints and wrapping. Orion said, hey, hello, Orion.
Hello.
Libby said, yes, proud. Hugh said, knocking on heaven's door. Proud America said, thank you so much, sir. Patrick said, knocking on heaven's door. Grammar says, is there any molesters around? I hope not. Orion
If they
said,
are, I'll
hi.
show you how to not let them repeat again.
Deluxer said, do you know what Randy means in the UK? I don't.
I know what it means.
Grammar says, have you ever thought of becoming a, nope. Proud America says, Olivia, you work with automobiles? Maria says, I had a car accident today after leaving college. Luckily, no one got hurt. Oh, Lord.
Glad to hear nobody got hurt.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear nobody got hurt. Daryl said, did you say third or turd? Sorry, I just walked in. Robert said, hi, this is Robert. Hello, Robert.
We were just wondering about you. Everybody was asking if you got fired.
Yeah, Hugh said, wow, Maria, I am glad everyone is okay. Olivia said, no, not really. I only sand and painted them. Hugh said, hello, Robert. Rayan, I don't know how I'm saying that wrong. Rayan says, I was quietly watching, but I have to go to my favorite political channel is Life. Sorry again. It is my nature to be political. All right, that's fine. Thank you. Have a good day. Thank you for stopping in.
I think it's Ryan.
Jane said, hey, hi, Orion. Rita said, yeah, they crashed us from being from behind. Daryl said, that's the most satisfying part. Ghostly. Ghostly says, I'm kind of learning how engines work. Kramer says, Patrick says, where's the beef? Olivia said, yes, it is. Mac, Proud American said, Olivia, you work in body paint like you got a job or something? Rita said, what does Randy mean in the UK? Kurd Stan said, hi, I'm from Iran. Well, hello. Proud American's got a bunch of American flags. Thank you. Jane said, hi, Robert. Hey, Robert. Glad you're okay. Robert said, how I did at work this morning.
You did great.
Jane said,
That's why I'm laughing.
you have to look that up yourself, Maria.
I'm not going to be the one to tell you what it means.
Let's see. Olivia said, Adam said, Jane. Hugh said, hello, Iran. Daryl said, Adam. Proud America says, we're not doing garage work today. We worked some before we come up here on the live.
Most of the time, this 6 to 8 live is just this.
All the time we got, really. Hugh said, soon. Olivia says, I don't have an official job, but I paint and sand cars that my brother buys, and I have hand on bigger projects. Olivia says, it's more of a hobby. Olivia says, and not a BD. Proud America said, bigger projects, I'm curious. Red says, keep the chat clean and politics free. Yes. EU says, watching from Nigeria. Where are you from? Denton, North Carolina.
America land.
America land. Topic said, what up?
I got Iran and Nigeria.
Robert said, how the weather? It's cold.
It snowed today.
Yeah,
Robert.
it snowed pretty much all day. Just flurries, but still, it's come good.
Let's see, there's
Some
Nigeria.
cars got covered.
And
Jane said, welcome, Nigeria. Maria said, wow, there's no way it means that. Jane said, hi, off topic. You said, hello, Nigeria. Hello, off topic. Grandma, what's that word, Randy?
Gentru.
Jeru.
A different grandma.
Anyway, could you stuff my prison pockets?
I wouldn't even read that shit.
Nah, we're going to do something different. Hugh said off topic. Robert said, tell Randy Jr. I'm watching Looney Tunes on TV.
Oh, man.
Off topic says, hello, Jane. Olivia says, I have control on painting my own cars and his cars. And sometimes if it's a guy that knows me and requires my artwork or my skills, then I go in and I paint a bit. But it's a really high dollar paint job. Daryl said, so R3, are you calling off work tomorrow?
No.
Proud America said, I'm probably going to get Justin to help me tomorrow morning take them tires. Proud America said, I'm still learning surface designs of car body on software. Off topic says, hello, Grand. You said, I found a 2013 6 L80E with only 95,000 miles, 1,500. Taxes got to land quick. Off topics and 100 for 2 Jules. Olivia said that needed perfection. Then I'm dragged in. Proud American said also clay designs and tape designs of cars is an amazing job.
Well, hey, proud American, what I'll do is I'll start my car for you, and then I'm gonna go get me a drink.
Robert says, how is your helmet doing? It's doing good. I hadn't used it no more since the other day. Maria said, little Randy, I have a question for you. Hold on, Maria. He'll come back in just a minute. He said he would answer the question. He heard me read it. Go for it. Olivia said, I practice on model cars. You said, and then a 1000 Circle D triple discount lockup converter, torque converter, nickel and dime and drive shaft, and she's ready. Wayne says, "Sup, cutie?" No. You said Circle D, triple disc, freaking phone. You, Robert said, can I see Randy work jacket? It's hanging up over my work jacket. Old car don't want to fire up out there. It's cold. 18 people, 31 thumbs up. Thank y'all very much. Gator says hi. Hello, Gator.
I just want you to know it's cold out here. What?
You says hello, Gator. Robert says, can I wear my work shirt? Yes, you can. James said hi, Gator. Daryl says Gator. Olivia says I have a 65 GTO hardtop model I made look like Terry Black and sanded it and kept the waves and wrinkles to make it look like a monster from said tar pit. It's really cool. Sandra said, hey everyone. Hello, Sandra. Gator said, good afternoon, folks. Hello, Gator. Off topic says, how many fingers am I holding up? About that many. Olivia says, I didn't. Ankle said, hey, Gramps, hello. Sandra said, Long Johns. You said, Daryl, if you play your AI song in the background, will YouTube mess with you? They haven't been for us, Hugh. We pay for the extra, but all the songs we've ever made, we've never got in trouble for it. 19 people, 32 thumbs up. Robert said, ask Randy Jr. I'm putting my work shirt on. He said you could. What? AI cannot be copyrighted, Randy said, Hugh. Sanders said, hey. Daryl said, no, I own the rights to them. You said I made a song also, so I could, I should be cool. Yep. Off topic said, what do we think of AI? Different. A lot of people don't like it. I do like making the AI songs. It would be wild to go a little bit farther, but then again, some people take it too far. Anklet says, say my name loud. No. Sanders said, one, and it's only the middle one. Daryl said, you'd be fine. I'm King said, well, where's the beer? Don't drink it. Proud American said, Olivia, yeah, automobiles do need perfection. Once I designed a bolt for the one of my Honda Fit body panel mount, but with a pinch out by its 0.37 millimeters, and it didn't went into the threads. A steel reminder. Hugh said, cool, thank you. Daryl said, as long as you didn't copy another song, you're fine. You said, ah, sweet or
All right.
sweet.
Has Maria asked that question she wanted to ask?
I don't think so. Mike said, hi, Gator. Robert said, ask Randy Jr. He needs help with work.
Robert, I appreciate the offer, buddy, but I'm good.
Hugh says, they ate my sweet.
Gator's gone. He said he'll be back in a bit.
See you, Gator. Joyce said, construction. Hey, brother, just doing a quick survey. Do you like tacos or hot dogs? Tacos. Gator said, hi, Mike. Sanders said, there is some funny people in here. I love it. Maria says, I don't like AI. It wasn't a lot of the water and it's bad for the environment. Angle said, it's and all right. Somebody help me out. I've said it wrong. I'm saying anklet, and it's got an I in it. They're trying to tell me what it is, and I'm saying it wrong. Hugh said I wrote. Jane, help me out, please. Hugh said I wrote one waiting on Allie Brat, and it's pretty cool. Sanders said finger. Jane said hi, Sandra. And Maria said stupid Google. Now you can't search anything without saying AI.
Yeah, and it keeps asking you, do you want to try new Google's AI model? And you click no, and it still shows up.
Sandra said, hey, beautiful Jane. Gator says, I got to go and I'll be back in a few bit. You said they are trying to build a data center here, and we aren't having it. They are loud and can be made elsewhere. Matthew said, hell yeah, that's probably our night. Daryl said, gotta admit, I'm stoked for April. Me too, Daryl. I want this weather to get out of here so we can get started on everything.
I'm gonna need these cars.
You said later, Gator. Sanders said, right. Daryl says, would you do a good job defeating the trolls? Deflecting, sorry. Riz said, little Randy, is there anything your dad used to tell you or do to you
I didn't understand it at the time, and now that I'm a dad, have kids, I understand. I will keep this as short-winded as I can, but whenever they used to tell me, don't talk to such and such, or you don't need to be around such and such. Family, sometimes, especially whenever you're gathering and stuff like that, and it's hey, don't go talk to such and such. Well, you learn later on in life it's because they're a freaking dick, and they treat you like
shit.
Yeah. And now that I have kids, and my 4-year-old wants to play with her cousins, and she's a bitch, with full disrespect, and I'll tell this to every one of them. I've learned that I can tell my daughter, listen, you don't need to go play with them because they treat you like shit. But she does not understand. She just wants to go play. She's 4. She doesn't have people around her age. The closest age to her is 8. So that's one thing I understand now, that being a parent, I didn't understand 30 years ago.
Proud American said, I left Google 8 years ago. Man, I am all Bing user.
Bing!
Sanders said, definitely. Sanders said, tacos for me too. Roscoe said, what up, guys? Weekend can't get here soon enough. God bless. I know, right? Sandra, ankle bracelet. You said, Anakite kit.
How about this? Kumar.
Anakit. Robert said, tell Randy Jr. I have my work shirt on. All right.
All right.
Proud American said, I searched my questions on Bing and it answers my question within a few Bing bings. Sanders said, sexy in my book. So hell no. First time people giving pronouns for my names.
I'm not even seeing that.
Proud American said, man, why is that important? Not you. Deal with it. Well, like I said, I just try to find a word, and I know I'm probably pronouncing it wrong, but I'll How about 03B? I'll just start calling you 03B
Or
then.
Kumar.
Kumar. Yeah, Kumar's good. Let's see. Kumar said, "Sir, I got some humor." Daryl said, "Tired getting people to go, but tired of waiting, so I paid for the tickets for myself today." Sandra said, "I love ankle bracelets. Most people do." Kumar says, "I could guess." Hugh said, "Lowell, ankle, Kumar." Sandra said, "Exactly." Hugh says, "I help with it here." Sandra said, "Kids are freaking cruel."
Yep.
Olivia said, "Back, sorry, Boggy came home for a quick dinner." Bobby said, "My father didn't like my best friend in third grade, called him a bad seed. That friend is doing life in Tension,
Trenton, New Jersey right now.
for murder. That's his third body."
Exactly. I know there's a few people talking about it underneath your comment, and I think Maria even said something about it, like she doesn't understand it right now, like my daughter. But when you're directly involved with it, you do not see it. Other people will.
Same way about love.
If a relationship you might think is going so great, but an outsider looking in can say, "What the hell?
That
are
ain't
you
right.
doing?"
Why can't you see it?
Yeah.
Proud America said, "Kids are cruel." Hugh said, "There you go." Daryl said, "Is he still staying at the shop, Ghostly?" Maria said, "Yes, he does." Maria said, "Yes, she does. Doesn't understand yet. A lot of friends we had, even were we were younger, they weren't good kids." Kumar said, "Yeah, that's good." Robert said, "Ask Randy Jr. what work company we work at."
CSX.
Hugh said, "Kids can be bad, cruel nowadays, worse than when I grew up." Riley says, "Hi." Hello, Riley. 21 people, 33 thumbs up. Sanders said, "Hang on, gotta let my fur babies out." Come on, did you say come on?
Kumar.
Kumar said, "Kids are lovable." Sandra. Catfish said, "Hi, yo, what's up?" Maria said, "Every generation says something bad about the new generation, and that's life." Yep.
So the problem I have with the new generation is they have zero social skills, which granted,
And zero respect.
it's people my age too. They will sit right here like me and Daddy are, and they will text back and forth because they cannot hold a conversation. All right. Now, granted, you go what 30 years ago, 30 or 40 years ago, when there was no cell phones and no computers. What's the stereotypical TV show or movie look like when you look at it? The man's just sitting at the dang table all the time with a newspaper, not paying a lick of attention to anybody. You always have stuff like that. It's just annoying.
Sanders said, chicken love them, parents not so much." Sanders said, "Exactly."
Children are a reflection of their household. Good or
Sabrina said, "Hi there from Texas." Hello, Sabrina.
Again.
Yeah. Sanders said, "Took me 30 years to figure it out." Riley said, "I started my channel a month ago. I already have 100 and futures of driving, and some people say that it's crazy because I have it, but it's easy to do. It's easy to. Is that true?"
Are you saying that it's easy? Like people say, it's easy to get subscribers. I mean, it depends on what your definition of easy is.
I don't really understand the question too much, but if it's something you want to do it. It's another job's what it is. It's actually a couple of them. Sabrina said, "I love Cocoa Puffs." Yeah, I go cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Sandra said, "What's that? Whatever that word is in Texas." Robert said, "Are you paying attention to chat? Are you on the phone doing something else?"
Paying attention to chat. Why?
Because I need help.
Okay. Proud American said, "Maria, also new generation learns from older generation, that's life. But new kids come up with their own stuff, like that, that 42 shit. Hugh said Cocoa Puffs and Fruity Pebbles. Proud America said that's not life, Maria. Sandra said children and fur babies. Bobby said, I knew that he was crazy in 93 when he stabbed a crackhead with a beer bottle. However, living in Newark, New Jersey, we thought it was normal seeing people get killed. Yep. Hugh said every generation picks up on the next tech. Tech has destroyed social skills. Yes, it has. Proud America said 0. They are dead, new generation. Sandra said entitled mindset. Yep, they want everything with no effort. Sabrina said, I have the abraded shite. I don't know what that is. You said, I know people that don't laugh. They say LOL dryly. What? They don't laugh. They just say LOL. Sandra said, exactly. Kumar said, yeah, that's what I really want to learn. Holding on conversations, please give some tips. Eye contact feels awkward sometimes.
Annie says, hi-ho, people. Daryl says, hi. Annie. Proud America said new generation thinks they smart because of being exposed to social media and AI. Dumb new generation. The new generation always thinks they're smarter than the old one.
Let me read this one from Maria, and I'm going to answer. She said, okay, do you blame the kids for or the computer and internet or their parents for that? I blame the parents. You look at Addie. She is 4 years old, and we kind of joke around and say she doesn't know a stranger. But guess what she doesn't have? She doesn't have an iPad. She doesn't have a phone. She doesn't sit there and stare at a screen all day. She has conversations. She has social skills. Some kids don't have that, aka her cousin, who wants to sit there on the iPad the entire day. I don't blame the kid. The kid's no different than the dog. If you raise the dog to be mean and bite people, what's he going to do? Be mean and bite people. You raise the kid to stare at an iPad all day and just hand them whatever they want whenever they want, they're going to grow up and be entitled. Then they grow up to be short people at work that want everything handed to them. And he said, hello, Matt. Do you want to start again?
Sandra said, hey, they don't fall far from the tree. Maria said, it's so important to identify the main cause of the problem. Well, there's problems all the way around, but the main cause is how they're raised, I think.
You just can't go from one story to find the problem.
Nope. Mike says...
There's 3 stories. Theirs, the others, and the direct middle, which is usually what the truth is.
Mike says, and they can't watch a video short for over 9 seconds.
Yep.
Hugh says, just find someone to chat with behind anyone waiting in line. It's last and a few minutes, users, and you can work on social skills.
Yep, like I speak to somebody while I was getting gas the other night. I was getting diesel in my truck, and I got gas in the Toyota the night before, and it pumped extremely slow, and it ended up spilling over. I ended up wasting like $3 of gas because it was just dumping out. So I looked over, I said, hey buddy, last night it was pumping real slow and it wouldn't cut off because it was so slow. I would be careful. The man was probably my age and did not have a lick of an idea of how to respond to me. And I'm like, dude, I'm telling you this because if it's still pumping slow on the gas, it's not going to click off. It's cold as piss outside. You're getting back in your car, you're just going to start dumping gas. But if you just find somebody to have a conversation with, it's going to be awkward, but it does feel good to have a good conversation. Let's see.
And he said, where's Liv? She tried to call me today, but was busy. She was in here. Sandra said, nothing easy comes free. And he says, I moved and it jumped. Sorry.
I'll get up to it. If you want me to read for a minute. I can get caught up on that.
And so I was. David said, dude in the back always doing bunch of nothing.
David, you got it exactly right.
Games and TikToks has ruined our kids' minds. Stress is off. Series is off the chart, and their minds can't stop. Mm-hmm. Sandra says Captain Crunch will with Crunch berries. I do like that. Let's see. You said that was. That's what the couch is for. Riley said, say the funniest joke ever.
The funniest joke ever.
Sandra said, shoot, I'm glad I'm country. Mike said, I agree with you, Sandra. Daniel said, cheers. And he says, 9 plus 10 equals 21.
Yep.
And he said, That was what pissed me off. You said they have no emotions, and the other chat words. David said, What are you getting old? Your eyes can playing tricks on you. You're losing track of the comments." Just kidding.
Well, David, whenever you scroll down on the computer, sometimes you'll get the chat that you just read, like your comment, close to the top, and it'll skip all the way to the bottom.
Then you got to find it. Daryl said, "Be right back. Going to grab a shower." All right.
Proud America said parents.
You'll probably be back by the time I get caught up. You said, "K. Daryl." Sanders said, "I got a little patch on got a chain across my driveway."
Kumar said, "What do you think to make ourselves more of a social human being than a social media human beings?" I believe humans are inherently social. We're not designed to be alone.
Sanders says, "Exactly. I blame the useless parents." Proud America said, "Yes, parents are irresponsible." Yep. Memory says, "Hi." Hugh said, "Parents buying their kids 3 and 4 years old. Minds don't stop when they grow. Anxiety and rampant teens would be better." Sanders said, "Exactly." Hugh said, "If parents were held accountable like they used to be, kids would be better." Sanders said, "Internet raises kids nowadays." Yep. Maria says, we
got a new member, Terp Slurp.
Let me, Memory says, let's see.
Thank you for becoming a member. Let me get back up here.
Well, I just lost train. I saw that and lost it.
Hugh said if parents were held accountable like they used to be, kids would act better. Sanders said internet raises kids nowadays, if you let it. Maria said, if I bring a man with the mindset of people who born in 1920s and tell them what you do in your life as an adult in 2026, they'll say you're rude and lazy because for them it's unusual. Just point of view. You know, you're exactly right on that. Sanders said, right. Memory said, that crazy about the gas pump. Well, people just don't expect some random redneck to say something to them, but I'm just trying to help them out. Proud America said, random people calling me bro, and asking me to chill, telling a lot about how they were raised right. Yeah. Libby said, I'm here cuz I text you. Maria said, I totally agree with that. Some kids in the new generation like me, people who born in the 2000s, most of them really don't know how to talk and have normal conversations. They can. You can learn anything. Robert said, who picked me up for work tomorrow morning? I'm the only one working. Hugh said, yesterday I got gas and the guy kept clicking the gas handle. I told him if he keeps clicking the handle to get more fuel, it will flood the charcoal canister and flood the emission system. He probably looked at you like you're an asshole. Sandra said, have you ever watched the video of the family getting out of the car at the drive-through Safari? Don't think I have. Hugh said, and set off the check engine light. He looked at me like I was an alien. Yep, but it's the truth. And he said, why was your son laughing at me? I wasn't laughing at you. Sandra said, wash that butt. I will wash mine. Memory said, the Shell gas station, the pump was almost frozen. Proud America said, I'm a little square person. I find it pretty disrespectful calling someone bro, asking to chill using new slangs. As a cop, that's all I ever got was bruh.
Terps Lurp 710. How do you want your name up here? Do you want a name in that, or just Terp Slurp? How would you like it? And we'll get you we'll put an order in for your sign to go here and out at the road.
Sandra said exactly. 6.2 big said ND Projects.
Hello, Big.
I don't know what that says. Terp Slurp said I wanted to support you guys. I found myself in here plenty of times and love the banter. Well, thank you, Terp Slurp. Jane said, hi, Bick. Robert said, who picked me up for work in the morning? That'll be me. 6.2 Bick said, chat, hope all is well. Hang loose. Mike said, welcome to the club, Terp Slurp. Sandra said, I say we all just go fishing. What do you guys, what do you think, guys?
Let's go.
I think we can all get along. Now, this live is 2 hours of proving that we can all get along.
Terp said, thanks long. You said, hello, Terps. Terps is waving. Jane said, welcome, Terps. Box fan said, sup, gang, wanna go bang, bang. Sanders said, no, they just know the babysitter internet. Terp said, much love to y'all, all y'all. Calibers, Cocoa Puffs or Ritz, one choice. Ritz.
I don't
Andy
like
said,
Coca-Cola.
yes, you were. Robert said, can I see the red coat, Randy Jr.? Jane said, hit the like button. Maria says, I really hate seeing my little cousin because their parents are lazy and they spend a lot of time on iPads. I'm talking about 2 years old kids who has iPad more larger than their heads. Terp says you can just do Terp slurp. All right.
We'll do Terp Slurp 710.
There you go. We'll put the order in tomorrow. Thank you.
Oh, I gotta pause. Annie, I just laughed at you. Mainly because you think I hate you.
I didn't know he laughed, so I don't know what you're talking
I'm
about.
trying to figure out what I apparently laughed at.
I don't either. So
but I can't find it.
That's the
And then
reason I can't answer it.
She said, your son hates me now, Pops. And then in quote, or in parentheses, she says, I'm not gonna lie, I forgot his name. What's Dad's name?
Jane said, Terps, where are you from? Ohio, here. Remember, says, I can't wait to Cletus McFarland at Dayton in Truck Series, his debut. I saw something about it. I didn't get to read it, so I don't know what's going on yet. You said kids on electronics, too young ruins their minds. Sanders said, exactly. You said, hello, memory. Proud America said, Grand Vic, yes. Terp says, how much do the signs cost? They're like $5 a piece. And I do one here and one at the road, so I get $10 tied up in it. I just try to give back to y'all for doing it.
Well, it's something physical that you can see as a thank you for being a member.
Jane says, hi, memory. Carlos says, I'm back, y'all. Sorry, I've been absent. Haven't been feeling too well this morning. I think my thyroid is going hypo.
Uh-oh.
Sanders said, internet babysitting. Sanders said, Oklahoma here.
I'm working on it.
Okay. Sandra, he's putting in a pin in Oklahoma for you. Thank you. Terp said, sorry, I'm from Massachusetts.
Massachusetts?
We'll put in a pin for you too. Thank you. You said right, Sandra. Take them kids to the park. Maria says, well, I'm watching a
2-hour live. So it proves that she has an attention span.
while I'm watching a 2-hour live. You can't say that I can focus for too long. I expect for sometimes I'll fall asleep without you telling you. Maria says, we listen and we don't judge. That's right. We listen and we don't judge. Sandra said, you guys are super cool. Thank you, Sandra.
Thank you.
Hugh's laughing. Maria. Jane, Mike said, Southwest Missouri here. Sandra says, thank you. Terps donated $10.
Thank you very much, Terp.
Thank you. You didn't have to do that. We do appreciate it. All the money goes into one account, and when we spend the money, it will be something on this, the building or the property, because we are trying to, do something here. Hello? Hello? Look, you call me, I answer, you talk. If not, I'm hanging up. Hello?
Bye, bitch.
Bye.
Is it Minnesota? What state am I looking for?
Missouri, wasn't it? No.
Scroll back up. I just
It
saw
was Massachusetts.
Oklahoma. I got Oklahoma.
And then Massachusetts right there.
Massachusetts.
All right, let's see.
Why can I not find? Somebody tell me where Massachusetts is.
You got a phone? Hugh said, stick it, homie. And he says, I don't know your dad's name. I was introduced to him as Annie, and he was introduced to me as Pops.
Randy.
I'm Randy Jr., he's Randy the Third. That's why they call me Pops, because our names are the same. Robert said, find Ohio on the map, Randy Jr.
I got Ohio.
We've got several Ohioans in here. And he says, your name is Pops too. Let's see. Jane, Maria, when you get quiet, we know you fallen asleep. Senator said, exactly. Or go out to and play for a bit.
Okay, I got Massachusetts now.
Proud America said, Ohio in the eastern side, huh? Hugh said, Maria, if you tell them when you fall asleep, then you have sleep talking problems. Maria said, and when he screams, I work up. So when he screams, I wake up and it helps. Proud America said, near India.
Indiana.
Indiana, sorry.
I found it. It just took me a minute. I had
Question
to find
mark.
Boston.
Sanders said right. You said deuces, homie. Sanders said Oklahoma.
I did get Oklahoma a lot quicker than I got Massachusetts.
Red says, no, Hugh, I have very healthy sleeping habits. Terp said East Coast looks like a hook.
You know, now that you mention it.
Hugh said Northeast. Sanders said Northeast high. Proud America said Oklahoma is a good state too. Maria said
I used to have before knowing these people.
John said laughing out loud in regards to the phone call.
Well, people call and you answer and it's just a dead line. Like, listen, you call me, I say hello, and you say something. That's how a phone
That's
call
how
works.
it works. Sanders said Massachusetts. Olivia's laughing. Maria said they kind of changed my life.
Well, I'm hoping we helped. I hope it wasn't one of those, I can't believe I know these stupid MFs.
I don't think so, or she wouldn't keep. I mean, I'm telling you, that's the whole goal for everything here is to come in and have a place for everybody to come and have a good time. My dad said hello. Jane said proud America in north of Dayton. Olivia said Randy, us like a youngster, more meaner version of Pop Pops. He very cool, actually. Robert said Randy Jr., you pick me up for work, put your red jacket on.
I'll have my red jacket on in the morning. But hey, you know, Dad tells people at work before I come out there with them, like, look, just so y'all know, Randy's like me, but substantially more outspoken and meaner. And everyone's like,
ain't no
what?
way.
There ain't no way. Then I show up and a week later, like, this guy's an asshole.
And he said he's a Yankee hater like Pops. Proud
Yeah.
America said, Jane, sorry, come again? And he said, Pops.
Jane
Sarah
is north
said-
of Dayton, Ohio. This thing is about to
Sandra said, the only reason I love the internet, get to meet some funny people.
You know why I like the internet? Because there's everything I ever need to know right there at the tip of my fingers. But in the same token, this internet has allowed us to do this YouTube channel. And we have got to meet people from quotes around meat. But get to know people from all across this giant globe that we live on. There's people that's 8 hours ahead of us, 12 hours ahead of us, 2 hours behind us. It is amazing. Because the internet shows that if you listen to people, you're going to hate everybody. But if you come in with a neutral attitude and say, you know, everybody can get along, you can meet people and learn what the world really is.
Sandra said, remember the party line? Yes, I do. I remember we had a lady up the street. She always listened in on everybody's conversation. Maria said they'll put our grads on the college tab, and I'm kind of scared.
Grades.
Great. Oh, Jane said, proud I'm north of Dayton. Sandra said, yes, I listened. I admit it. And it's kind of funny you say that because the woman that did, her name was Sandra.
Hey, that might be the same one.
It ain't the same. She's passed away. Well, let's hope not. Anyway, Proud America said Massachusetts, one of the 13 colonies, right? Robert said,
so.
Tell Randy Jr. don't forget to bring Robert a work shirt. Proud America said, Jane, ooh, I get it. Sanders said, everybody's got one.
That means Daryl will be like do his premiere
In 30 minutes. And he said, damn, I thought at least one of them wouldn't hate me.
Hate's a strong word.
You're the one that keeps using that 4-letter word, not us.
Let me tell you, like your cousin tells us, don't put words in my mouth.
That's right. Maria says, well, you think if I really hated you, I would come back. I wouldn't even bother myself talking to someone I hate. That's what I said.
Yep.
Sandra said, it's good and bad. Sandra said, right. Memory said, right. On truer words were ever, no truer words were ever spoken. Sorry. Sandra said I was a kid. Well, Sandra that was listening wasn't a kid.
She was the Karen.
Yes. Boggy said, the world, us flat.
Hold on, Boggy. If you're still in here, explain this to me. Hawaii.
He said
is
thank
here.
you and good night.
Hawaii is here, okay? And Japan is there. So explain to me, back in 43 or whatever, whenever Japan bombed Pearl Harbor, how did they fly? All the way across this flat earth and bombed Pearl Harbor. And nobody, nowhere,
saw it.
Not one
In a
not
global
one Karen in the whole
conflict.
world called and told nobody.
In a global conflict, and these whole part of this world was fighting, and not a single person. Okay, and if your answer is they went right, they couldn't have done that because that's the edge of the world.
If it was a flat Earth, they'd just fall off.
So, and also, how is Alaska there, but it's also there? Ha. Explain that one to me. Flat earther.
Let's see. Memory says, bye-bye. Good night, y'all.
Good
See
night,
you,
Memory.
Sandra said, I learned a lot. Sandra said, see. Christy said, I got a MAGA hat. Maria says, if you listen to people, you love the world, but if you listen to media, you'll hate everybody. 100% right.
Well, Maria, whenever you first came in, how many preconceived notions did we have about Iraq and Baghdad?
Exactly.
And you have debunked yourself.
You've showed me a lot that I would have never believed. Sandra said, I'll blame it on my name then. There you go. You said, if you look with the hateful eyes,
that is all you will find.
all you find. If you look with the racist eyes, that's all you'll see. If you look with why does no one look with the eyes of love and understanding? It's what you'll find. Exactly. That's what I say. Think positive, you'll see positive. Think negative, you'll keep seeing negative.
Robert, I'll pick you up at 8 in the morning. We got to be in at 9.
Sandra said, never hate your energy.
Sucks your energy from you.
That's
you ever
right.
notice if you get mad for an extended amount of time, your body hurts afterwards? Your body's not designed to be like that.
Hugh says, look at a globe. Sandra said, greedy. Boggy says,
it was an inside job.
no. Oh, so they just appeared, the planes appeared? Sandra said, UFO education. Hugh said, the world is round, not flat. Look at the globe, homie. Maria says, little Randy, are you serious? Please tell me you're kidding.
Oh, no, I'm joking. Okay,
About what?
Because if the world was truly flat, do you not think that some drunk redneck on a pontoon would go to the edge and take a picture?
Oh, I promise you, some damn body would fall off of it drunk. Memory says they knew about it, but they went to World War II for money. Yeah, but there was somebody out there would say it. He said, hello, Boggy.
World War II, they didn't have the technology to fly from Japan all the way across Asia, Europe, through the Atlantic Ocean, and all the way across the continental United States. And then bomb Pearl Harbor and Hawaii. They don't have technology to do that without stopping.
No, especially back then. Boggy said,
Alaska is actually not real. Oh, here we go. Rabbit hole. Reaper said,
is that where the New World is?
Jesus Christ. Reaper said, meow.
Yeah.
Boggy said, hey, Hugh. I had to scratch my neck.
You're not going to get that deep ass voice in my ear now. I'll move and let you read, but.
Go ahead.
Boggy says, hey, Hugh. Sanders says, flying a plane, you can see the curve, dum-dums. Hugh said, if the world is flat, how do people fly around the world? John said, planes took off a aircraft carrier.
Yeah, that is something I forgot. But yes, John is right. They didn't just take off from Japan and go all the way across the Pacific to Hawaii. They did bring aircraft carriers closer. But they still didn't have enough fuel to go from the carrier to Hawaii and back. It was basically a kamikaze mission.
Well, okay. Even at that, they would have had to come all the way around
They
here.
would have to go all the way down around Australia. All the way
across. It would take them a
across.
hell of a long time to all that.
I think before they put in the Panama Canal to get something by sea over to California or something, they obviously had to go all the way around the Horn, and they said that took like a year.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They had to plan that a long time ago. So, and this, if that's the case, that can't all be water because it just fall off the edge like a water fountain. I mean, a waterfall. Let's see. Here we are. Where we're at. Andy says, "Oh God." Andy says, "I'm related to an idiot." Proud American said, "World is definitely flat."
Roses are red, coffee is black. Why is your chest as flat as my back?
Hugh said, hello, Andy. Andy says, he doesn't define my intelligence.
He is a cousin, so just be careful. It jumped. Let's see.
There it is.
Yep.
Proud Americans laughing. Sanders says, can you imagine the rush? Carlos said, hello, girls and boys. The word of the day is head cheese. Nickel Pony said, Hey, Pops and Mr. Unbreakable been busier than a set of socks in the Louisiana interstate. Shocks.
Mike said good night, guys. Good night, Mike.
See
If you're
you,
still
Mike.
in here, buddy.
Yeah. Maria says, there's no such thing as flat earth. I can respect all people with all opinions, but I've never understood how people think the earth is flat, and I'm not ashamed of calling it a stupid idea.
Well, how about the guy he was in the truck with today working is a flat earther, and he did the exact same scenario that I just explained to you to him.
He wouldn't even
The
talk.
conversation was done because he just disproved the whole flat earth thing. What's on the other side? The new
Robert said, don't forget to bring Robert's work shirt for Randy Jr.
I don't wear those.
Hugh
Just so you know.
says, right, some dumb drunk redneck would have fallen off.
It was a homo boy.
Sandra said, I'll pass on head cheese unless I'll get really hungry. John said, if the world was flat, the water would roll off the edge and fall on the turtles. Proud Americans say, you mean the attack of Pearl Harbor was not real? I didn't say it wasn't real. I just said they did not fly all the way across all them damn countries and nobody said nothing. Hugh said the horizon is 25 miles.
The human eye can only see like X amount of miles.
Boggy says, I see no curves, see flatter than the paper on my desk. Hugh said, right, John, roll on the ground and left my ass off. Reaper said, sorry, I haven't hopped on Bald Man. Annabelle and I are having a hard time. Uh-oh. I hope all's get well. If we can do anything, let us know. All right, I'm going to try to move up and not lose my place. Give me just
Maria
a second,
said
Maria.
you can simply provide the earth is round, but you can never prove that the earth is flat. Even when you try to explain it, you'll look so dumb and embrace yourself. It's like a lawyer in court. They're just trying to disprove something you said because they have no proof of what they say.
Sandra said, me too, don't like anyone behind me either. I go eat, I always facing the door. Yeah, I don't like that mess.
That's how I am, but usually he's behind me if I'm doing the live reading, and I don't mind that because it's my dad. But I don't.
Well, I can't stand the loudness and deepness of his voice going right into my ear. Jane said, what up, Reaper? You said I wouldn't eat head cheese if that was it. Too many leaves and grass for that. Sanders said Columbus wasn't the first one here either. I don't think so.
They say during the Ice Age that there was a land bridge between Russia and the U.S., and that's how Native Americans got to America. Otherwise, how did they get from where it all started to here?
You said, hello, Reaper. You said, if the world is flat, use the 100-foot flat blade and see what happens.
Mm-hmm. Sanders said, itty bitty titty community.
Proud Americans. Anyone heard the song "Big Butts" by Sir Mix-a-Lot? All artists.
I like big
butts and I like them wide. Oops.
And I like them large.
Yeah. Landon says.
Elsa Kinney, one with a Gabe owner.
Sanders said, absolutely, my butt looks good. Do these
Does these jeans make my butt look big? That used to
I
be
don't think it's the jeans that make your butt look big. Jane said, famous last words of a redneck at the edge of the world. Hey, y'all, watch this.
No kidding.
Sandra said,
if we wear Carhartt.
Yes.
I wear Carhartt pants. That's what I got on right now. I wear Carhartt shirts. I don't wear the jackets.
I normally have Carhartt pants on, but I don't think these are Carhartt.
Oh.
Reaper said, Annabelle had a miscarriage, Bob. Man, I'm sorry, Reaper.
Sorry to hear that, bud.
I am so sorry. Jane said, sorry, Reaper. Sanders said, lesson learned only because he loves you. Sanders said, you're exactly right. Proud America said, if Earth is round, why don't Earth roll onto the other planets or sun? Gravity.
Same reason why when you throw an apple at a really heavy person at the Walmart, it just starts to float around them, and then they get scared because they don't like apples.
And it don't matter if it's round or flat. If it's flat, wouldn't it do the same thing?
Sandra said more than a mouthful is a waste.
Boggy said, thank God.
It,
Thank you,
it
good
might
night.
be a waste, but it sure looks good.
Boggy said, thank you, good night. Maria said, well, for us too, we used to have a lot of wrong ideas about American people. I thought Americans are rude and disrespectful, but when I started having American friends, everything changed. There are rude.
There are some very
people
rude people
everywhere.
here. Don't get me wrong.
I'm one of them.
There are some very rude people, and we see it every day. But like I said, that's what I was talking about this channel. There's a handful of people in this world. There's 8 billion people in this world. There's a handful like us. That's what this YouTube channel is about.
Sandra said, at least I got one right, and I'm 60. Hugh said, no, Jane, it's hold my beard.
Yeah.
Sandra said, me too. Maria said, I swear, they are so polite, nicest people ever. I was in shock. Sandra said, another angel got their wings. Yes. Proud American said, yeah, it's round. I'm just messing around. Sandra said, 36 is perfect. My sister was 44 double D. I bet she had back problems. And he said, his intelligence isn't hereditary, guys. It's from a small, all from car fume stuff. Reaper said, Annabelle is taking it hard.
I bet so.
Mm-hmm. Hugh said, I am sorry, Reaper. Grandma has 8 miscarriages before she had to have permanent surgery. One was a tubular pregnancy and almost took her from me. Dang. I hate to hear that too. Hugh said, I understand that, brother. And Maria said, the earth is fat.
Without the L.
No, she just said fat.
I know. Instead of flat.
Well, the world, for an average, is in an extreme surplus of food. All right? You do an experiment with a gerbil, a chicken, a hamster, a cat, a dog, whatever you want it to be, and you put it in an environment where they're comfortable, sometimes a little cold, sometimes a little hot, but overall they are comfortable as a species, and give them as much food as they want and don't have to do anything, they're going to be fat. Case in point. Let's see here. Proud American said, it's not just Americans. I have seen rude people from all parts of the world. It's human nature not to be part of nationality.
That's right.
That is exactly right. People are inherently evil.
And that's what I was saying, especially when we first met Maria. There's good people everywhere in this world. Everywhere. And I don't like it when people come in and segregate people, Americans, Iran, Iraq, Australia. We're all people.
Left.
We're all people. We all can get along. I don't do the defining them out and everything. I think we're all one. We're all human. Well, except Maria. She's an alien. Let's see. Hugh says, tell Annabelle I'm sorry, brother. I understand. Sandra said, yep, along with shoulders, she had a breast reduction surgery. Scariest thing I ever seen. Maria says, or a donut, probably. Hugh says, right, proud. The human condition is everywhere. Reaper said, Annabelle been with Dean and his wife. I'm at my folks' house. Olivia said, Annie speaks true. Sandra said, crowd's getting smaller, though.
Well, you look at...
Yes, it is, but all we can do is keep trying to spread the positivity.
Well, have you ever noticed that if you ever watch our videos and stuff outside of like Daryl, Adam, Hugh, Jonathan that parked up garage and a handful of other people and customers, who's usually here? It's usually me and Dad and Justin sometimes. We don't have friends. I had a plethora of people whenever I bought this place that said they were going to come here, they were going to help with stuff, they were going to want to be part of this.
Nobody's
And
been
It's
here.
been a year and a half, and they have yet to ever step foot on the property.
And again, 2 people came from miles and hours away to help out when Randy got hurt. 2 people.
Yep.
And
I think Beth would have come if it wasn't such a last minute thing.
well, she showed she come
Yeah, she
back
came-
and
she came
helped
back
out
for
at
Halloween.
Halloween.
But
So what I'm saying is we've met a lot of great people on this internet, and these people have done more for us than the people we've been around all our life. That's all I'm saying. Let's see. Most Americans do speak. Let's see. Sanders says crowds getting smaller. Proud Americans said most Americans do speak straightforward people with weak hearts find it hard to deal with people like us.
Yeah,
Maria
I get
said,
that problem a lot.
no, our chickens is not fat. It's just born in this way.
But if you gave that chicken as much food as it wanted and didn't require it to do anything, that chicken would be a lot bigger.
Sandra said she's like my soul sister. Jane said, "Lol, poor Maria." Hugh said, there are great people everywhere and there are evil people everywhere. Welcome to the human condition. Exactly.
Right.
Proud American said, yes. Sandra said, we just need to love each other. I agree. Maria says, yes, I'm an alien, so I'm not equal to you. I'm better. Now, I wouldn't go there. Let's say 19 people, 42 thumbs up.
Proud American said Hugh at Crown Vic. Reaper said, all I can do is try again. Yeah, that's right. Hugh said, American people seem to people elsewhere because we are more direct, not as bad as Germans, though. There's a few people that's worse off than we are. Sandra said, I got one friend. Well, if you want to be in here, you got at least.
You got friends here, that's what I'm going to tell you.
Slam said, can you name 5 countries in Europe? UK, Scotland, Norway, Germany, Italy. That's 5, ain't it?
Sandra said, right. Jane said, hit the like button. Annie said, what? Annie says, you're saying that help more than the people who promised you. You're saying,
yeah,
yes,
viewers and
yes.
subscribers. We met Ryan at
Ryan,
Six Prodigy.
Ryan came when Randy got hurt. Randy was in the hospital. Ryan came and he drove 4 or 5 hours.
He's 5 hours.
5 hours away from us.
And Mike drove
976 miles one way to come here, huh?
876.
It's 976 miles.
He drove
976 miles from his house to here one way, and him and Ryan both stayed a week right here with me and helped me while Randy was in the hospital.
Yep.
And we got family members that probably as of now still does not know Randy had the accident.
Granted,
and if they do, they've not said a word about it.
Granted, they don't give a rat's ass about me.
Nope.
And the feeling's mutual.
And not a word's been said.
Oh, Proud America said Denmark, Hungary, Netherlands, Germany, Luxembourg, Belgium. And he said, that's effed up, bro. If you had an inclination onto our life, it is loneliness. I had one friend whenever I got out of high school, and we've not spoke. I've been at the railroad for 5 years. We've not spoken 10 years. Well, I don't have that friend anymore. And again, I'm 30. It's not like I'm 60 and everybody's dead. I don't have friends. Never have.
In high school, I had 2 or 3 friends. And seriously, 2 of them I have seen the building, and he did actually reach out for me to do some tires for him the other day, but our machine was messed up. But he's not been back. And then the other guy, I saw him, and he lives right here close by, and he still has not been by the building. And I'm not asking nobody to buy nothing from us.
Proud America said Finland. Sandra said homegrown chicken tastes different, and their eggs too. Yes, that's a rabbit hole if you go down it. Olivia said they call me a demon, therefore I must be worse. And then Italy. Proud America said Poland comes under Europe too, I guess. Yep. Sandra said I feel welcome, thank you. Well, welcome in.
You'll always be welcome here.
Reaper said, but other than that, I bought a farm.
Awesome.
Sandra said, I can grow anything, and I can it too. And said, I would have cooked for you every day. Well, Sandra, I spent 2 weeks in the hospital, and it was pretty rough. If you weren't aware, I got hurt. I spent 4 months just about in a wheelchair. I've only been back to work a little over a month.
Well, I'm telling you,
for 2 months.
I'm telling you, it was bad on me. It was, Randy's one that had the accident, but it was bad on me. And Mike and Ryan will never know how it made me feel. I didn't realize what it did for me until they left. When they left, I was by myself.
Reaper sent the YouTube play button. Hugh said, I've learned family will screw you faster than enemies will. Yep. Maria said, you're 30? I got 4 months, but yes. Sandra said, reach out to him. I had 1. Sandra, I've reached out, and it's like, I get left on red. Nickel Pony said, now I feel about an inch tall for not stopping by when I was at NC a couple months ago. I'll do better. No. That's not what we're saying.
No,
what I'm saying is we had people that, from both of us, that are into this kind of community that have said they're going to do this, they're going to do that, they're going to help out with this, and they have never showed up. That's all we're saying. We're saying
people are everybody's welcome here. If people want to come by and shoot the shit and spend some time, y'all are welcome. I mean, I hope I never have to turn people away. That's what this whole thing is set up for. We're trying to save money, clear the property, and have events here so people come here to have a good time.
Well, the man yesterday, when we put those tires on for him, he knew I got hurt because you did the skid steer tires and the trailer tires for him whenever I was hurt. And he asked me, so well, how's it going in the project in the back? I said, buddy, we've not cut another tree since I got hurt. He said, well, I bet you don't want to. I said, no, I want to. But just walking down that hill with the chainsaw was bad enough. But listen, we don't expect anything. And if you listen to the briefings of the videos, you'll hear us say, do what makes you happy. And I usually tack on there, if you're waiting for someone else to make you happy, you are wasting your time. Because you are responsible for yourself.
And that's true. And people spend a lifetime trying to please everybody else. And you find out you're by yourself in the end. So it's one of the reasons I'm trying to do everything I can to make myself happy right now.
All right,
I'm going to have to try to catch up. We got 8 minutes. And
Proud American said Grant Pinto Vic 100%, and he said, well, I'm glad he is better, and it's still effed up though. I care for him even if he hates me. I don't hate you.
Nobody hates you.
You said hello, Nickel. Jane said hi, Nickel. Marina said I have several friends, but don't think every one of them deserve to be called a friend. Respect. Nickel Pony said hey, Grand. Proud American said we mute. Hope not. Reaper said actually it was my old land. Sandra said I hated high school. Thank goodness for VOTAC. I hate high school too. Nickel Pony said hey, Jane. Hugh said he was in bad shape. I was not in good shape. Proud American said no audio. Okay, I got it on mine. Sandra said shoot, but you're blessed. I agree. Proud American said hello. Hugh said Randy was bad and lonely. I could see it in his eyes and demeanor. Sandra said, can you Vaseline first? I don't know what that means. Ray said if Randy hurt physically, you were hurt mentally. Yes. Hugh said something wrong with the audio. Sounds better now. Sandra said, then he doesn't deserve you then. Hugh said, I'm not better. One thing after another. Okay, Proud American has audio now. Hugh said, cool, Proud. Sandra said, I pass on friends like that. Proud American said, I agree 100%. Sandra said, I had 7 surgeries. Proud American said, 100%. Sandra said, exactly. Maria said, we lucky every time I tell you that I'll come to America. I said, at least wait 10 or 20 years. Well, if you ever come to America and you want to see us, you're welcome to find us. And he said, I know y'all don't. I'm just going to, she's just going to keep on. Sandra said, hate is a 4-letter word. Exactly. Daryl said, 40 minutes tonight. Maria said, luckily. Gotcha. Sandra said, hosing. Reaper said, y'all have a good night, Bald Man at Peanut Gallery. Keep it safe and remember to keep it silly. Thanks, Reaper.
See you, Reaper. Have a good one.
Keep your head up. Hugh said, have a great night, Reaper. John Glad said, no surgeries yet, 70 years. Thank you, Lord, for my health.
Yes.
Sandra said, we're leaving. I'm thinking Canada. Well, John, I've had, technically 3 surgeries. One to remove something over here in my head, my wisdom teeth, I guess 4, my adenoids, and then to put that rod in my head. That's all I've had. And before I got hurt, I've only had like 2 or 3 broken bones.
Hugh said, have a great night, everyone. Be safe. See you. Nick Capone says, night, Reaper. Reaper says, Bald Man. My little sister says, hello. Hello, Bald Reaper sister. Sandra says, absolutely. Proud America says, I never had no friends. I still have no friends, but I'm happy. I respect random people, meet random people, and help random people. And life goes on, meeting you and new people. Proud American, if you're going to stay in here and everything, you're welcome to call us friends. We have no intention on doing any wrongdoing to anybody. Daryl said, see you. And he says, night all. Sandra says, well, we're all neck. Daryl said, see you, Annie. Jane said, John, I'm too old,
Older today.
And lots of surgeries. Sandra said, exactly. Ghost says, night all. Love y'all.
Well, I got caught up a lot quicker than I expected.
Yeah, it's exactly. I feel well. I want you to feel. Thank you, Sandra.
Reaper said her name is Emily. Well, hello, Emily. Yes, I forgot. I don't know about him.
Hello, Emily.
Let's see here. All facts said, what made you wear glasses? Me was head injuries. Him is old age.
Old age, yeah. I don't wear them. I mean, I have to wear them to read because I can't see good.
Uh-oh. Daryl said, see you, Ghosty. And then Jane said, older today.
Oh.
It's Jane's
So somebody's birthday's today.
Yeah.
Do you want us to sing you
And
the
then Daryl
song?
said, your birthday, Jane? Sandra said, too old to care about the diddly stuff. Exactly. Don't sweat the small stuff.
And don't pet the sun.
Jane said, yes. Reaper said, y'all have a good night. Boggy said, wait, I'm done.
Oh, you're waiting on us?
Happy birthday, Miss Jane. Jane said, jeez. Bobby said, happy birthday, Jane. Daryl said, happy birthday, Jane. Jane.
You gonna read?
All right, everybody. 1, 2,
3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Jane. Happy birthday to you.
Hooray! Cha-cha-cha.
Daryl said, happy birthday, Jane. Jane said, thank you. Daryl said, Boggy. John said, I joke every day, one day closer to death. That's right. Every day you go by is one day closer. Boggy says, I'm nit dumb. Sandra says, not dumb, just not been shown. Boggy said, cha-cha-cha. Again.
Marlo said, happy birthday, Jane, you sexy mama.
Sandra said, happy birthday, Jane. Jane said, thank you. You made me cry.
I'm good at that. But John, I found a meme on TikTok or Instagram. I sent Dad. It was it just said, I casually slide a $20 bill to the helicopter pilot taking me to the hospital. Says maybe I don't make it, and maybe it just takes a little bit longer to get there. Him and my wife do not like my jokes. Like I told Madison, which is my wife's name, she comes in quite often. I think she's at work right now. At least should be. I told them, I don't think I'm going to make it to 30. And they're like, shut up, you're going to make it to 30. Well, in July, I thought I had a heart attack. And then in September, September the 5th, I dropped the tree on myself. So I'm like, I'm doing a damn good job of not making it to 30. I still have it to the end of June. And so I'm not allowed to do a lot of things right now. But I'll let you get caught up.
Boggy says, you was there is buy you a cake and give you a face full of cake. Proud America said, thank you both. Of course, I would love to call both of you my friends. Your people are just amazing, including moderators here. Sandra said, I woke up breathing. I'm blessed. Boggy says, I am amazing, proud, but we love you too, buddy. Sandra said, love drive sense of humor. Buggy said, world is still flat though. Long as flat and curves all one line. It's just how it is. It's just.
Sandra said, watch out for that tree. Yeah, George in the jungle there.
Sandra, if you hadn't watched it, you ought to go back and watch it. It is on our videos. Near-death experience of Little Randy, and there's a short version of it, 7 seconds to change a life.
Yeah, Proud America said, if I get a chance to visit NC, I'll try to meet you both in person. We're going to Florida in April.
That's right.
Boggy said yes. Jane said take care of all. Sandra said I think that George in the jungle. Boggy said Kirby is funnier. Proud America said Jane, bye-bye. Yes, that's the end of the live, everybody.
Y'all have a good day, good night whenever you're watching this, and remember, keep it silly. Thank y'all.